Okay, so with one of my favorite things about this is kind of dialing in a Leslie sound, a rotating Leslie. Let me show you. So again, we've got the direct level. And wet.
100% wet, right?
100%.
Yep.
And you know, the master volume out here, which is really cool because you can get tons of gain, and you're going to want to back off with the master volume. You know. And if you look, you can see that there's a ton of gain because I've backed off on the master volume. Yeah, so here, you know, without the distortion, unity gain.
Yep.
Now let's bring it up. Okay, so now
they go back to Leslie.
Yeah, Leslie.
Effect.
So here we are. The thing that makes this really cool, the difference. A regular chorus, like a standard chorus pedal that you'd have, the way those work is you've got your direct sound, and then you've got a chorus sound kind of blended in with that, and the interaction between the delayed sound going back and forth creates a chorusing effect.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is your direct sound is sort of, you know, it's covered up a little bit, even though, you know, it's chorused, you know, it's awesome, but maybe you don't want to mess with your direct sound so much. So this comes in behind it, and the chorusing effect is always 30 milliseconds behind, so you've got your attacks aren't messed with. Is always there. Yeah. Another thing that's really sweet about this is that as you increase the gain, it's been designed. There's a companding circuit in there that interacts with the gain. So basically, it hits this really sweet compression thing for just the delay from what's going into the delay and what's coming out. And after the delay, there's a 2.5 kilohertz filter that really, you know, separates your direct sound from the delayed sound. So you've got this like dark sort of analog delay tone, and you know, your direct sound with tons of gain. In this mode, in auto mode, I've got it set up so that the sequencer is at a step length of two steps. As you can see, it's just going back and forth between steps 3 and 4, and now it's going to be steps 1 and 2.
Right.
And we're going to speed up the LFO so you can. And there's the time glide feature is a portamento between the change of the delay time from step 1 to step 2. So we'll put 2 on maximum.
Yep.
And we'll put 1 on minimum.
Yeah.
And I'll just hit some notes here. Short. And long. Now if I increase the time glide, you'll hear. The LFO, which is going to increase the speed at which they go back and forth.
Yeah.
Let's go fast. And I'll turn the direct down so you hear the wet only for this. And this, I'll bring the direct in. gore. So I'll slow the LFO down a lot and then you'll see. And I'll speed it up. And then if you dial in the delay times to be kind of similar, a little bit different from each step, little, close but different, what you'll get is this a chorusing that you can sort of dial in the wave shape of your modulation, which is really one of the main functions of the sequencer is that you can, I'm going to change one step. And it's like, because one of the steps is like kind of changing a lot.
But when it's close, it's
Then I'll go to two steps. Then I'm going to dial these two to be in exact, like close to each other. And then if I hit this button, the tap button in this mode, well, it's in a step length of 2. The sequencer is going to go back and forth from steps 1 and 2, and then it'll go to 3 and 4.
right.
So back and forth. So you can set it up like where you have this. Where the modulation is there, but it's not as pronounced. And then if you want to go to a part where you get a lot more modulation, you can go to those steps, preset, which gives you that really sweet, Leslie sound thing. And to control the intensity of the modulation, really the trick is to get a balance between the spacing of the two steps, or the values of the delay time, and the time it takes to shift. So this is the maximum glide shift, and as I decrease the glide time, the intensity of the two steps, now it's just an instantaneous jump between the two values. Here. And then, of course, it'll self-oscillate. Pretty sweet. So now I have the LFO off right now, as you can see, in the auto mode, and being that, so this is what you have now. It's just it's just a delay with, as you would expect a delay, with delay time and feedback and your mix levels. Turn this on and then boom, sequence the delay time. Control the LFO with the tap tempo, just press and hold this guy 2 seconds, tap 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you've got tap tempo.
Alright.
Pretty as you would expect, and then of course you can start and stop that every time. Every time you start it back up again, it goes onto the first step. So if you're playing with something sort of live, like a drum machine. You can start and stop, and it'll go on the downbeat for you, and then eighth notes, 16th notes. And then back to chords. So let's go faster. Nice. And two step length 2. And then the manual mode, that's cool because when you're in this mode,
the manual mode.
Every time you step on the step button, because of the M mode, you got M step. You're going between step 1, 2. If you're in, 4, step length of 4, you can go through.
Right, change the step mode. Yeah.
So it's cool if you let's say you have a song with like, you want 2 different parts, like you want on the verse, you want like a shorter delay or something like, and then your chorus comes in and it slows down. You want like, it's like you want to, and then back to your other delay time. Long. Thing about this mode is that you can, if you press and hold this button while you're in this mode, you'll see it start to blink. You can record 1. So I'm just going to arbitrarily enter some stuff in, and then it'll loop back the steps
what you hit. Yeah.
So I'll record another one.
Yeah.
Press and hold. Same thing.
Different pattern. Okay. Check it out. Running, if I press the run stop button here, it will stop my recorded thing and go back to your regular manual mode where you can and if you press the run stop button again, it'll play back my recording thing and then back and forth. Playback the recorded pattern, not the actual sound.
Yeah, it's just a recording of the events from pushing this button, like the steps. And to delete it, you just press and hold, wait till that blinks, and then you hit this, and it clears it out. And then the LFO, let's go back to auto mode. The LFO has 2 ranges, low and high. And I'll show you here's the speed range of the LFO. So, to get out of the tap tempo mode that I had put in earlier, press and hold to exit tap tempo. So that's the slowest. And then we'll go to high mode. let's turn it all the way up and you get this like really crazy ring modulation thing happening. Very versatile as far as what you can.
Super versatile. Oh my god.
You can really dig in and do brain surgery on your modulation.
I mean, once you get to know, you can get rid of 4 other pedals.
Yep.
Right?
Or have 5 pedals, have a huge,
Go in between.